Awesome. So to start off with, today we wanted to give you an overview of what TeamViewer is doing in the AR space. So most of you must be aware of who we are. So we are an IT remote support software organization, started way back in 2005. But in the last 5 years, which not many people are aware of, we've been heavily investing in the field of operational technologies. So operational technologies are technologies that are used outside of your typical office space or data center. So that will be spaces like warehouses, ports, factories, shop floors, field service, etc., etc. So why is TeamViewer investing in augmented reality and operational technologies? The main reason why is what you can see on the screen. So 80% of the world's workforce do not work at a desk, like most of us here today. So if you're a field service worker or a logistics worker, then you are sort of left out of the digital transformation drive that has been happening in more like office spaces and in more sophisticated carpeted spaces. So what we want to do is equip workers like that with the digital tools to be more productive, to do work more efficiently, and to utilize technology in a very ergonomic manner. So put yourself in the shoes of a frontline worker. So this is a frontline worker. It's an electrical technician. So he's trying to fix a problem with the wiring in an electrical cabinet. And as you can see, he's wearing safety gloves. And if he's stuck at this particular step, he doesn't know what to do next. Currently, what he would have to do is refer to a manual, take his gloves off first because he's got to turn the pages, or pick up a computer or a tablet, takes the gloves off because he's got to scroll through the information, find the right information, absorb the right information, and then go to the electrical cabinet again, and then try and fix the issue. As you can imagine, it's a bit cumbersome, it's not very ergonomic, and it's not very efficient. Have a look at this now. So now, using augmented reality, the exact relevant information is presented at the right time, literally in the line of sight of this individual. He doesn't have to take his safety gloves off. He doesn't have to take his helmet off because he's interacting with the software just using his voice. And the AR workflows will step him through every step of the way to fix the problem or the task at hand. And if he's stuck at that problem still, easily using a voice command, he can call a remote expert, and the remote expert can see exactly what he is saying. Why? Because if he's wearing an augmented reality glasses like this Google Glass EE2, it's got a camera, it's got a flash, and it's got a screen and a microphone. So what this person is saying along his line of sight, the remote expert can see via the camera. So this person does not have to move his head or focus, take his focus away from the task at hand, and he can be guided in real time by the remote expert. So what TeamViewer is doing is we are providing the software which changes the game for frontline workers. And our software is hardware agnostic. You can use it on assisted reality glasses like this, mixed reality glasses like the HoloLens, or even utilize mobile devices like phones, tablets, etc. So where do we play in the augmented reality space? So in the augmented reality space, we've got 4 categories of use cases which are predominantly utilized by our customers. It's make, move, service, and support. Make meaning manufacturing, move meaning logistics, service meaning field service, and support meaning remotely supporting a worker. And as you can see, there are multiple customers who are successfully using our software globally. So when you look at manufacturing over there, as an example, we have Boeing using our software to help their employees assemble the wiring harness for the Dreamliner aircraft. So Boeing came to us with an ergonomic problem. So previously, their employees had to drag along a computer on a trolley, absorb the information from the laptop, and then twist and turn towards the workbench, and then try and assemble the wiring harness. So as you can imagine, there are two problems here. The first problem is an ergonomic problem, the constant twisting and turning between the laptop on a trolley to the workbench. The second problem is loss of perception of information. So you could be looking at something on a laptop, then you walk to the right position on your workbench, then you might be second guessing yourself. Did I read that right? You know? Or even worse, they might be understanding the information in a wrong way and might do the installation of the wiring harness incorrectly. So we help them overcome both issues. And in the second use case over there, we've got logistics applications, which people like DHL, Coca-Cola, and Walmart have successfully deployed. And with logistics, as you know, with COVID, online shopping has gone through the roof. And when it comes to picking and packing, you just simply cannot afford to make a mistake. If you make a mistake, that severely compromises customer experience. And secondly, when it comes to complex warehouse operations, to be able to train up a new employee, it takes people like DHL several months for an employee to be proficient in picking and packing in that warehouse. But using visual cues, using augmented reality technology, we have overcome both the problems. So if you are presented the right information in literally your line of sight, you're led to the right aisle in the warehouse, to the right shelf, to the right box to pick the right item, and you scan it, and the AR technology confirms that you picked the right item, there's literally no scope for errors. And secondly, when it comes to training new employees, it becomes much easier for you to train them because they are now being self-guided and self-taught without having to rely on a supervisor. And then we have field service, where when it comes to maintenance and support issues, you can be stepped through a guided workflow without having to refer to manuals, as we referred to earlier. And then the same applies to field support, where you can remotely and easily and intuitively support field support workers. So let's take an example of manufacturing, and I'd like to show you a case study video. So as you can see, there are three ways in which the same task is being done. One using manual documentation, second using referring to a tablet, and the third one using a wearable glasses using our software. And as you can see, using the wearable technology, the task has been accomplished way quicker than the person who referred to a tablet, and much quicker compared to the person who was referring to paper-based documentation. As you can see, there has been over 100% improvement in task completion speed when using augmented reality compared to referring to paper-based documentation. And using paper-based documentation, the person made a few errors. A strap was missed. He needed support from an expert who had to come and help him out. And the second example here is with Airbus. And in Airbus, what they do here in this particular facility is maintenance of helicopter gearboxes. And when you're doing the maintenance of helicopter gearboxes, you have to make hundreds of accurate measurements. And each of these measurements have to be manually inputted into their back-end SAP system. So the problem Airbus had when they approached us is it was taking a long time for a technician to make each measurement and then go to his workstation and input that measurement into the software. So what we achieved with Airbus is using augmented reality, we were able to guide the worker through the exact measurements they had to do, and the person could interact with their voice by inputting the measurements they did using the instrument straight into the SAP system using our augmented reality interface. And as you can see, Without the smart glasses, the person has to go back and forth between the workstation and the helicopter gearbox, whereas with smart glasses, he can spend most of the time at the gearbox and accomplish the task in a much faster manner. In fact, the level of efficiency gains was 41%, which is quite impressive. This is another example of using augmented reality in field service. So over here, Schlumberger is an oil and gas business, and safety is of paramount importance. At the start of each shift, they have to do a safety inspection of the fracking rig. So over here, he's scanning a QR code, which is bringing up the appropriate safety checklist, which is now guiding him to make sure that the documentation is stored in the truck. And what you see on the bottom right-hand corner is what he sees in the augmented reality glasses. And as you can see, he has few options that he can interact with the software using his voice. Say, for example, the fire extinguisher is expired. The workflow can also be configured to then go off on a tangent and can also be integrated in the backend with third-party software like ticketing systems. So say, for example, you wanted the workflow, if the fire extinguisher is expired, you wanted the person to take a photo and create a report using his voice. He can do all of that very quickly. He can tell the software to take a photo, create a quick report that the fire extinguisher is expired, and both of which will be attached as a service ticket in the backend with ServiceNow or Zendesk or any ticketing system they're using, and a technician will be sent out to site to replace it. And as you can see, he has to climb a few set of stairs to finish the inspection, and that is now safely done because both his hands are now free because he's wearing wearable technology. Previously, he would have had to carry a tablet in one hand, which would make it dangerous and also unergonomic to accomplish the task. And finally, I wanted to also show you a use case video in logistics. So DHL is one of our biggest customers globally. So what DHL wanted to do with us is to provide the accurate information to the picker to enable them to do the picking task very quickly without making any error, and also help them to deliver training modules quickly as well. And as you can appreciate with picking, it's a complex task. A person is using a barcode scanner, either a finger-based barcode scanner or a handheld barcode scanner, and the information is being pulled in from the warehouse management system in the backend. So to insert an augmented reality solution in the middle, it needs to be able to be integrated with both the hardware that person is using and the backend warehouse management software on the software side as well. And that's what we've achieved using our AR software. So as you can see over here, this person is now wearing the glasses. They are about to start their shift. They're scanning the QR code, which provides them the right information to go and pick the right object. And as you can see, the user interface is guiding the person to the right aisle, to the right shelf, to the right box. And it's also specifying the amount of quantity of that item that needs to be picked. And it's also guiding the person to place those picked items in the exact tray in the trolley. So with these visual information that is accurately communicated to the person, there is no scope for error, and the picking process is completed in a much quicker manner. And this is of immense importance for them in a training scenario. So using this augmented reality solution, DHL has drastically reduced their new employee training time from a couple of months to a few weeks. So that's a huge bonus for them. And finally, we come to remote support. And when it comes to remote support, this applies to every single industry out there. Nobody is an expert in every single field, and no one is across how to fix every single issue. And that applies especially to the car industry nowadays. So the car industry is going through a paradigm shift where the technology is moving away from internal combustion engines to electrical cars. So what that means is there are tens and thousands of dealerships and mechanics out there who are not experts in electrical technology. So when they come across a problem, how do they fix it? So using augmented reality technology like this, they can easily call a remote expert who might be sitting in Germany or the US, and they can see what the person is seeing, and using annotations on the screen, sharing files, sharing screens, etc., they can accurately and intuitively guide the person through the process of fixing that problem at hand. So this helps you to support your field workers much quicker, reducing downtime, and also helping to maintain high levels of customer satisfaction. So another use case I would like to also highlight is the mixed reality use case. So this is more of an immersive technology that our platform supports. So as you can see over here, the content is projected in three-dimensional space, and the content is also overlaid on physical objects. So this is immensely useful when it comes to use cases like training and quality control. So our software allows you to import CAD files, engineering drawings, etc., to create a highly interactive 3D model, which you can interact using your head movement, hand gestures, voice, etc. So our software has been utilized by customers all around the world in multiple industries, and they have realized gains when it comes to efficiency, process transparency, better ergonomics, which translates to happier employees, reduction in errors at tasks, etc., etc. So it's a proven platform that has been implemented globally over the past 5 to 6 years. So we would love to get you to experience our software and AR technology in person. So our stand is right next door. So feel free to visit us and play with the software and the AR glasses. And yeah, would love to chat to you more. Awesome, thank you guys. And like I said, we are just next door. Please come over, say hello, and experience the software technology for yourself. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Cheers.